Welcome to Ed's Garage. The 2022 Elantra N. There's a lot of things I like about this car. There's a lot of things that people are going to love about this car, especially people who are a little bit younger, maybe have a lot of hair product and are wearing tight jeans, or those of us who are middle-aged and looking for a good midlife crisis car. Things like this red stuff along the bottom here, surely that adds 5 horsepower. Or maybe this spoiler, which of course adds downforce and increases the testosterone level of the owner by 17%. Rear strut bar that adds 29% body rigidity.
29%? Man, last time I got 29%, it was my math grade. That's like putting a straitjacket on Ryan Reynolds. That's like the difference between a wet noodle and a fire poker.
But it really meets other sportsy requirements as well. Things like a demon expelling exhaust, manual millennial anti-theft device, or these sporty seats that make it feel like you're being bear hugged by Hafthor Bjornsson.
But let's not forget that twin scroll twirly device, of course, that gives you
turbo power!
Ah, the grip! The grip is insane! It's like the Elantra is quantum locked to the road with superconducting magnets. Brilliant! The grip is just insane. Just grip, 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 so much grip, right up until you have no grip. The Hyundai N division does such a great job at putting a smile on your face. It's almost as if the gas pedal is physically linked to the muscles in my face as I press the gas down, and it just hangs on to every corner. You can liken it to a toddler that's gotten into your zing stash. It's so urgent to move, so eager to play. What about the sort of day-to-day mundane stuff? Is it safe? Well, it is super safe. It's a top safety pick. Plus, the roof can support 1,100 plus pounds of force more than the next closest competitor. And the 2021 Elantra was actually the North American Car of the Year. But why? Let's find out. Well, starting with styling. I mean, you can't deny that this is definitely a polarizing look. Now, obviously, the N gets a little bit extra bling, but the nice thing about the Elantra is that it doesn't have a whole lot of fake plasticky vent-looking things, but it's still pretty wild. You look at the back of this car, and look at how awesome this thing looks. I mean, the tail lights, the badge across the back here, the Elantra badge. This one, of course, has this sort of fake air diffuser in the back and the beautiful 4-inch wide twin chrome tips, this massive wing. It just looks cool. You put it up against a sea of kind of boring designed cars, the Elantra really, really does stand out. So for styling, I think it's got pretty much everyone in the competition beat. Look at those wheels. Now, styling is subjective, of course, but what other things can we look at that would make this the North American Top Car of the Year? Well, how about fuel efficiency? If you don't want a fire-breathing Elantra N, you can get an Elantra Hybrid, or you can get a regular gas model. The regular gas model is 6.7 liters per 100K. This one, of course, is 9.4 liters per 100K because it's using a lot more gas, but if you want something extremely efficient, you can go with the hybrid at only 4.4 liters per 100K. So you really have a lot of choices. You've got your regular gas model, your hybrid model, your N line, which is kind of semi-performance, but mostly appearance package. You've got your N version here as well, and all of them give you best interior class space, best legroom front and rear, Toyota Corolla, for instance, has more in common for legroom with a Chevy Spark than it does with an Elantra. Well, let's look at some of the features on this particular vehicle. So this one, first off, looking at these beautiful wheels. Now this is a Michelin Pilot Sport. And what's really cool about these tires, you can see right here, there's the HN. This particular tire was specifically designed for Hyundai N series vehicles. Now, of course, it's wrapped around a 19-inch aluminum alloy rim, and don't these rims look awesome, guys? One of the best looking rims I've seen come from any manufacturer. Behind those rims, of course, you got the really cool N brake caliper. Now, these are a larger disc as well, so lots of stopping power. Further down the side, you got the really cool red stripe there, and of course, you got this sort of parametric design in the door. This one does have the proximity entry, and there's also a little light that comes on there as well. The mirrors are, they do have the blind spot monitoring, as well as the little light that comes on the side here. Now, the thing I love about the Elantra N is that even though it's the performance model, it doesn't skimp out on features. It's actually very, very well equipped. It even has something like the smart trunk feature, where you just stand behind the vehicle for a few seconds and presto, the trunk opens up. It's like your own personal trunk butler, or considering it's the butt of the car, it's like your own butt butler. Butt trunkler? Now, speaking of the trunk, there is a lot of space in here. It's actually quite large. Under the floor, look at that. No spare tire, because why would you want that in a performance vehicle? It just adds extra weight. So you got the pump there and a sealant kit for your tires. Of course, you got your tow hook when you inevitably end up in a ditch. So you've got the crossbars there. Now, the seat does fold down, but the crossbars are stuck there. Now, they would have to be unbolted if you wanted to use it. But remember, guys, this is a performance car. This is not a car for running to Home Depot and picking up a load of lumber. Although you almost could, because you could get your 2x4s right through there, no problem. But yeah, so it's not a 60-40 split. It's just the entire bench goes in. And having a look in the back here, you'll see that there's actually quite a bit of space. I'm 6'2", and thanks to these sport bucket seats, these are really cool too. I'm going to talk about these in a moment, but they're really, really thin, lightweight, and out of the way. So you can see I got a ton of leg room. It's no problem. It's actually a pretty comfortable place to be. Headroom is perfectly adequate, and the seats, my God, they're so nice. It's got this kind of a fake suede going here with the leather on the outer edge, and then the blue stitching, of course, because it's the N version. Man, it's actually a really nice vehicle. Back here, there's not too much as far as features. It's just a comfortable place. The door sills here, they're solid. They're not soft armrests or anything like that, but this car really is designed for the driver. So while there is quite a bit of space back here, if you're looking for features, you got to go with the regular Elantra Ultimate. Now, that's just features for the rear passengers. For the front passenger and driver, honestly, the features are actually quite good. You get this fantastic Bose audio system. It's an 8-speaker audio system with a subwoofer in the back. You do have adjustable height on the seat, though that is just the driver's seat. The passenger side doesn't get that. You got the tilt and telescopic heated leather wrapped perforated steering wheel. Very, very cool steering wheel. Nice Elantra N specific map, so you have the little N badge on there. The nice thing about this car, honestly, the N badge is everywhere, so you're never gonna forget that it's a Hyundai Elantra N. You got this really cool shifter, again, with the N badge right there. As a matter of fact, there are 12 N badges on the outside of the car, unless I missed something, and I counted 9 inside, but the coolest ones have to be the ones on the seats. Check this out. These actually light up in blue. They look really, really cool. Now, of course, the other cool thing about the seat is they actually are ready for a 5-point harness, so that's why there's two holes in the seats here. But man, are they a nice seat. You got this nice little sort of perforated design in here. Again, more of this sort of suede feel, and they are bolstered very, very heavily and really, really hold you in place. Now that seat, actually the design matches what's on the doors. Again, more of that beautiful suede material and really cool look, actually. Let's blast through some of these features real quick here. So to start off, of course, we do have lane keep assist as well as lane follow assist. So those two technologies basically hold you on your lane depending on what speed you're going. So the lane keep assist is higher speeds, lane follow assist at lower speeds. You do also have automatic headlights here, as you can see, and auto high beams as well. Of course, on the other side of their stock, really nice knurled finish on the stocks as well. Doesn't have auto wipers on this one though. You've got your controls for your audio right here, and you've got your N button. So the N button basically allows you to put the vehicle into different drive modes. So it's basically your drive mode button. So you got Eco, Normal, Sport, and then you've got the full-on N Performance button on the right-hand side. Both of these are customizable from what I understand. So if we press this one, it switches to screen into that super cool looking N mode. We can see the oil temperature, engine temperature, the turbo PSI, and the torque output at any given time. It also puts the electronic stability control into a sport mode as well. This one again is fully customizable, which I will show you. If we go to the N mode screen on the beautiful 10-inch touchscreen display, I swipe over to the left, you can see I can actually set different custom modes for everything from the engine output to the steering feel, the electronically limited slip differential, the electronic stability control, the exhaust sound, the rev matching, the suspension. You can actually have it in different settings as well. So there's a lot of stuff that you can control in here. And there's your launch control button right there. On the top right, you can see we've got our G-force meter, and almost anything that you tap on will actually go full screen. You can even make it full screen or half, 2/3 screen as well. It's pretty cool. So if you haven't already seen my Veloster video, the Veloster N, check that out because I do go into depth a little bit further on that as well. Above the N button, of course, we have all of the controls for drive and instrument cluster. So these two buttons here, they control what's on your center screen. So if I shut off the N mode, go back to sort of a regular drive mode, I can actually go through different menus on the screen. Again, if you haven't seen my other videos, guys, please check out the description below where I go over everything that's in this screen on the Elantra Ultimate. Please check that out. I'm not going to get too far into it on this one. But one difference, of course, is the oil temp screen, the turbo screen, engine temp screens. This is all, of course, Elantra N specific. Of course, you can also have the G meter come up in there as well. Pretty cool. Right here, you've got your cruise control. So it's not adaptive cruise control on this one. Again, performance vehicle. So there is going to be some differences in the features, but you've got your button for your lane follow assist there. Looking down at the center console, we do have access to another drive mode button here, which does basically the same thing as the N mode button does on the steering wheel, except that one is customizable. This one is to turn on your backup camera. You can see really nice clear image backup camera. When I put the vehicle into reverse, I can of course get the dynamic steering lights, and this car does also have the backup sensors as well. Now with the backup camera, if we want, we can actually adjust the view so that it's a top-down view. Check that out. So all I needed to do is go into here and change that right there. Pretty cool. And a dead button right next to it. But up ahead of that, you've got the wireless charging pad. Now this is a 40-watt wireless charging pad. It is also ventilated as well, so you can see this is kind of soft. It's got some holes in it, so that will keep your phone cool while charging. Above that, you've got USB ports for charging tablets. It's a high-power USB port. This is for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. No wireless Apple CarPlay Android Auto in this one just yet. Hopefully that is coming soon. This one does have heated seats, so even though you've got these cool sort of bucket race seats, they are still heated as well, which is kind of nice. And then above that, you've got automatic dual zone climate control. So if you're an Arctic penguin and your wife is a desert gecko, you'll be able to actually set those temperatures up. You can actually have air-conditioned air coming out of your vents while your wife has boiling hot air coming out of her vents. Right above that, we've got all of the buttons for the stereo here. So some nice hard buttons. Of course, you get quick access to the map, navigation screen, radio and media. And then you've got a volume knob here, which is nice to see. Seek and track buttons. The star button here is a customizable one, so you can actually set that up to do different things. Right now, it's set up to go to the end screen. If you hold it down, it takes you into the actual configuration screen where you can choose what you want it to do, which is pretty cool. Setup button, of course, takes you to the setup screen. Again, not going to get too far into this here, but basically this vehicle does have Blue Link, so you're going to see some Blue Link icons on the screen there. That's free for 3 years in Canada. There's your N mode button right there as well if you don't want to have it set up with the star. The map in this vehicle, beautiful, beautiful map. Again, just like all other Hyundai navigation systems, fantastic navigation system. We do also have a 10-inch instrument cluster, which we have gone over a little bit already, but basically that's what it looks like. Now, one thing that's kind of cool is that when you change the drive mode, the instrument cluster screen changes as well. And as a matter of fact, there's one other one in there that you can set it on. So if we go into the setup and then in the vehicle settings, I can go to cluster and I can actually change the cluster theme. Right now it's linked to the drive modes, but you can see I can actually choose. Oh, and I got to take that back. They got rid of the D, the cube one. So no more cube instrument cluster. Well, honestly, nobody really liked that one anyway. Also in here, which is pretty nice, is the ability to change your ambient light settings. So this vehicle does have ambient lights. It's kind of cool. You can change the brightness. You can enable and disable it dimming at night. Obviously, we don't want to do that. Color you can change to any one of 64 available colors, which is pretty cool. So that ambient light, basically there's a strip along the bottom edge right here that lights up. Kind of hard to see, but I'll zoom in on it a little bit here, and maybe you can see the color changing as I go through the color wheel. So there's blue there, and then yellow, go back to purple. So it's pretty dim, but you get the idea. You can see that now at night, that really lights up. It's pretty cool. And of course, there's a couple other places that kind of glow with that ambient light as well, down here as well, if I remember correctly. So we still have an auto dimming mirror. You've still got the home link buttons, beautiful black headliner. Of course, it does have the blue link system, as I mentioned earlier. So you got the SOS button for calling emergencies. You have the roadside assistance button there. And of course, it's got a sunroof, which, by the way, guys, if you own an Elantra and didn't already know this, once you've slid the sunroof all the way back, if you press the button a second time, it opens up all the way. Pretty cool. All right, so I know I've kind of raced through the features, but you know what? I've done these features before, so please, if you want to get a more in-depth review of the, the different stuff on the screens there, please check out the review of the Elantra Ultimate, linked in the description below. But I just wanted to quickly get a video out on this Elantra N because, man, it's a hoot to drive. It's a ton of fun. If you haven't already had the opportunity, find your nearest Hyundai dealership with an Elantra N in stock and go take it for a spin. You won't regret it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, if it helped you out at all, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and comment below if you have any questions or comments on the video. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.